When you're looking at AI, just shifting topics a bit here, I was going to talk more about Doge, but that's probably, you got scared of my passion there. When you look at AI, there's really, I think, 5 ways people are investing in AI at a high level. There's the bottom level, which is the chip companies. There's the next one, which is the data centers. Pretty much all my friends' family offices who made money the last 20 years in tech have been putting lots of money in data centers. It's become a very popular trade, which is great because you guys are funding stuff for me to build on top of, so I appreciate that. Keep funding data centers. I don't know if it's going to work with this much money, but that's great because it's cheap for me. And then the level 3 is the model companies, which is like OpenAI, of course, famously, which decides it's a for-profit company now too, and XAI and Anthropic and everything. And then level 4 is software infrastructure. This is how you deploy AI, and that's obviously, there's a ton of, I think San Francisco is probably the center of that. There's a ton of very, very powerful software infrastructure companies. We're invested, for example, in Olama, which like over 1 million engineers use to deploy their Olama models. There's a lot of good stuff there that makes sense. Palantir does a lot of stuff, level 4. And then there's level 5, which is actually this, like applying the AI to services itself, like actually the one doing the healthcare billing, doing the logistics billing, doing the new legal company, doing the new back end of the insurance or trust or estate or whatever it is. And so I'm obviously invested in stuff like, I'm proud to be invested in stuff that like, if Elon starts a company in level 3 at XAI, that's great. I want to be involved in that. Obviously in Palantir and lots of level 4 things. But most of what I'm building and doing is level 5 right now. And the way to think about level 5 is there's probably about $5 trillion right now paid out in wages in the services economy in the US. And about 2 of that 5 trillion, about 40%, is in areas of the service economy that we've already shown we could double the productivity. This is very important. This is not like maybe when models get better. This is today, based on things we're seeing, we've already shown these companies can work at least twice as well. And this is things like, I have a healthcare billing company that's doing a bunch of stuff that we're big investors in. And it's already got, I think last quarter was like 56% margins, and like most healthcare billing companies are between 15 and I think 25% margins, right? So it's already more than twice or 3 times as productive of all of our companies, thanks to not just sprinkling a little bit of AI, but thanks to building a lot of stuff and applying AI properly. And so this is a huge fact, because even if AI gets no better from here, just by scaling these things, you should pull like $1 trillion of spend out of the economy. And I think it gets better enough. There's probably $1.5 trillion to $2 trillion you're going to pull out of the economy in the next 10 years. That's a massive, massive productivity boost. And we're going to make a lot of money. We're going to make America a lot richer.
So like, I think a lot of the big generative AI winners so far have been really the large firms, the OpenAIs, Anthropics, NVIDIAs, Google, and so forth, the ones that can lay down the fixed costs to actually build the large.
Well, they've been the level 1, 2, 3, 4 firms mostly, and then level 5 is like just starting to scale still. That's right.
Really, and I mean, do you think that it's possible for AI upstarts to really sort of latch on and without getting sort of outcompeted by one of the big guys? Like, I feel like I remember there's one startup that created this video, generative AI model, and then raised $30 million, and then the next day, OpenAI builds essentially the same product and releases it.
Totally. I think that's very, very hard. So there's 2. I'm going to answer this in 2 ways. First of all, let's just think about the last 15 years of tech to put it in context. So after Palantir, started Addepar, which is a leading wealth management technology company. It's a giant SaaS company. We sold OpenGov this year, which we built, and my friends invested in a bunch of my friends built a lot of SaaS companies. And the SaaS companies that my friends built in like the early 2010s had a very high success rate. And I could say it's because I'm some kind of genius or something, but what was actually happening with these is the cloud was newly possible. There's new things you do in big data, and our competition was stuff mostly from the 1980s and 1990s. So you can kind of be like, we have access to the best tech cultures in the world. That's my background. So it's kind of like being a bully. It's like we're taking the very best tech guys in the world and we're going and beating up on these poor things from 10 or 20 years ago. And by the way, it's good for the economy to do this. It's not like a morally incorrect thing, but you can kind of think of it, you're being a bully versus these old ways of doing things. Now, if you want to start a SaaS company, if anyone in here wants to start something and compete against something in one of the major areas of SaaS and cloud, you're mostly probably competing against the stuff my friends and I and others built in the early 2010s. And that's a lot harder because there's not going to be as big of a gap there. And by the way, all this AI stuff, our companies are going to use it too. So these 10 and 15-year-old SaaS companies, they're also using AI. Like, good luck trying to start a new AI SaaS company against them. They also have 300 million of revenue and 1,000 people, and they already have all the customers. So that's really hard. So that's a dumb thing to do. That's really hard. So the question is, what is there to do? So you go back to those 5 levels of AI. A new chip company, that sounds really hard. It's probably possible for a couple EE geniuses to figure something out new, but that's really tough. It's very expensive to do these things. The data center is fine. Everyone's going to invest in that. I'd like you to do that for me. Like level 3 is like the only person I would have ever backed with a new one of those was Elon. That's great because Elon is Elon. So of course they're going to back XAI, even though it was a ridiculous price when he started. But whatever, it's Elon, and then he has the top talent. He's probably going to figure it out. But yeah, I would not suggest trying to do that. So the question is level 4, level 5. Level 4 is really hard, and the problem with level 4 is that there will be some things that win, there will be some things that get bought, but it's like the smartest people in the world are all doing it, and you're right, what you just said, level 3 is trying to eat level 4. All these level 3 companies, they just want to own level 4 themselves, and so it's really hard. Like, how do you do something that OpenAI or X or Anthropic or somebody is not just going to eat, not just going to do themselves? It is possible, but it's tough, and you better be really the best in the world, and you better be really running fast, and it's not even clear to me yet what has to escape velocity and what doesn't, so that's a very fair question. Level 5, I think, is by far the best risk reward place to build because you have a lot of other things we're doing there. And going back to the model I just gave you of those SaaS companies that were beating out from 20 years ago, when I'm starting a level 5 company right now, my competition is these guys from the 1970s, 1980s, 1990s. Like, we're literally competing against the logistics biller in Baton Rouge for a thing we just won, which is in there. Sure, they're great people. They've been doing this for 50 years, but they just don't have the same ability to build and apply tech the way we do and to service the customer the way we do. And so if you can build a great operational culture, you can compete and win there. And I do think there's moats and barriers to entry at having great operational cultures that build and apply AI. So I think level 5 is a great place to build. I think level 4 for a few geniuses is going to be great, but man, that's hard. I wouldn't want to try to do that.